But first, from Fox at 3 o'clock in New York, the search for a missing baby girl continues this hour, nearly a week after her parents say somebody broke in through her window and snatched her in the middle of the night. Investigators in Kansas City, Missouri say they tried to stage a reenactment to test the parents' story, and it didn't go well. We're told they tried it a half dozen times, but it wasn't easy to stage what they said happened, and they needed a boost to get through the window. This comes after the mom said cops told her that she'd failed a lie detector test last week. So lots of questions, but she says she had nothing to do with her daughter's disappearance.
He said she's not in a crib, and I said, what do you mean she's not in a crib? And I just knew, something was really wrong. And we're running around the house and we're screaming for her, and she was nowhere. I miss her so much. Please, just drop her off anywhere. We don't care. Just somewhere safe where she can come home, please.
Cops had accused the parents of stonewalling them in the investigation, but they say now she is cooperating. The Fox Sports chief correspondent Jonathan Hunt is with us. He's live in the newsroom. Jonathan, update us.
Shep, there is a widespread family and friends effort now to find out any information they possibly can that might lead police to baby Lisa. Over the weekend, those friends and family were handing out flyers at a NASCAR race there in Kansas City, and baby Lisa's aunt talked about the effort to find her. Listen.
I'm okay. My brother and Deborah are less okay. We're just trying to hang in there, trying to eat and sleep as much as we can. A lot of people have just been coming up and asking me, if we've heard anything new, and it's just been a real positive response.
A tough time for everybody. There was also a candlelit vigil held near the family home over the weekend. None of this, though, as yet, Shep, doing anything to bring police any nearer, it seems, to finding baby Lisa.
Yeah, Jonathan, what about suspects? Have they said whether they have any at this point? Are they still searching?
Just in the last few minutes, Shep, we got an emailed statement from the police, the Kansas City Police Department, and they said this, I quote, investigators have talked to the family over the weekend and hope to continue the cooperative communication. We do not have any suspects. We are still actively investigating the case and continue to search for Lisa Irwin. So, Shep, they are doing everything they can. But right now, it seems quite simply that police have come to a dead end in the search for that little baby girl. Shep.
Jonathan Hunt live at our newsroom. Jonathan, thanks. He'll be chatting away about this story and the rest of the day's headlines from Studio B at foxnews.com/Shep. You can click the icon for the Jonathan Hunt link and join in the conversation with him. Again, that's Studio B, foxnews.com/Shep. First, though, let's take this to our legal panel. The noted defense attorney, Randy Zellen, is with us, and our contributor, Arthur Idala, who works legal stuff for us. It sounds like, Arthur, we're at an impasse now. They can't make the story work. The mom has failed a lie detector test, and the alibi that they had, or the way they say it went down, doesn't fit.
Statistically speaking, the investigators are doing what they should be doing, Shepard, because it is so rare that burglars break into a house and steal an infant. I mean, the statistics, it's like, I think 13 out of 1,500. I mean, it's less than 1%. The good thing is many of these infants are recovered alive. When somebody takes an infant because they want it for themselves or they want to sell it on the black market or whatever, the percentage of the times where the child is recovered is overwhelmingly positive, and that's what the investigators are doing. They're doing their job. They're questioning until they can get that one little clue that's going to hopefully lead them to where this child is.
Jonathan Hunt still with us. Jonathan, we mentioned that this was, well, I thought Jonathan Hunt was there. Jonathan, this was a matter when talking about missing children and these searches. What was your point?
Yeah, now the National Center for Exploited and Missing Children, Shep, gave us these figures today. Since 1983, they have handled 278 infant abduction cases. In only 13 of those, 4.7%, was that infant abducted by a stranger. In 92.3% of those cases, when they were abducted by a stranger, they were recovered unharmed. Whoa. But the overwhelming majority of these cases, almost 96%, do not involve a stranger abduction.
Got it. All that said, Randy, how in the world are you going to defend these people? If there's a lie detector test that failed, the story doesn't work.
At this stage, the Constitution says you have a right to keep your mouth shut. And this is a classic example why you should. If law enforcement came in and said, look, we just want to know what you know, open-ended question, and that's the end of it, I would buy into
Randy,
the fact that
their
they're
kid
just
is
looking for the
missing.
truth.
They're not supposed to be invoking the Constitution. Your child is missing.
And you know something?
You want to take the fifth?
Yeah, you do take the fifth.
That's
because you know
insane.
something? How many times have we seen it? Ask Amanda Knox what happens when you start getting asked questions by law
Shepard,
enforcement. It's not a fair
If
playing
my
field.
son was missing, you could take my blood, torture me, you do anything you want, because I know I'm never going to steal
And
my son or
what would
hurt
you do
him.
if you were accused
The
of doing
Fifth
something that
Amendment.
you didn't do? How would you feel then if you were
The
locked up?
truth is an absolute defense, and if I know I didn't do anything wrong, then I would do everything I could, Shepard, to help these investigators find the person who took my
Even in the face of
son.
knowing that law enforcement could be setting you up so they can close a file, having nothing to do with whether or not you did.
The men I went to jail for life, they found my son unharmed, fine, send me to jail.
Randy,
Period.
they gave her a lie detector test. The cops have told her, she says, that they failed. They had a story for how an intruder got into the house through a window. They couldn't even stage it the way they said it worked. Then the cops told us they were not cooperating. Not cooperating with the disappearance in the investigation of your own child?
And you see right then and there how things get twisted around. They were cooperating. They had enough of getting beaten up, so they took a break, and then they went back to cooperating. It's for that very reason you keep your mouth shut, you get a lawyer, and your lawyer protects you.
That makes no sense to me, Shepard.
Last word for both of you. Arthur Idala, Randy Zellin. We'll continue to follow this one. Thank you.